Welcome back to Hearts of Iron 4. So they have updated the 1944 Downfall mod for no compromise, no surrender. So what better time to jump in as Japan and see if we can rescue the Pacific campaign with the lovely new focus tree and updates. 1944 Downfall. The war rages on and it has been a while since we've been on this mod, but I'm glad it's been updated. We may bring some new videos in the future. So Japan is looking quite healthy in fairness. We own quite a lot of the Pacific. You know, we are halfway through our campaign in China here, so there's little pockets and we own quite a lot. There is a lot of port guards, which is handy, and then there's a bit of battle going on down here for Papua New Guinea. So those are the front lines we have to deal with. Now, we do obviously have all of the new decisions, load of political power, 4 per day. We definitely don't require that this late in the game. 7 million manpower, so we'll probably go down a conscription law because that is quite a lot that we definitely do not need, and we are on service by requirement. We do have a load of new decisions and events here to play with. So Ichigo is an old one, but basically from the 1st of April we get some nice bonuses against China. There's obviously stuff about the state where we can get different bonuses. We can release a few puppets, but we probably won't do that as I'd rather have the territory myself. We've got spiritual mobilization, so we get a few extra bonuses here just for a bit of PP, and we have a lot of PP, so we'll take 5% consumer goods, we'll take construction speed, we'll have a couple of free meals. I don't really like the stability, but we'll take the 2 off-map civs. We don't need war support, and we'll take the dockyard and factory output plus 3% because that is going to come in great handy, so we'll have that as well. We can get some troop convoy requirements if we've got at least 500 convoys, which we are close to, so maybe we'll eventually get this food situation with efficient convoys. Another set of Ichigo. We've got some propaganda. Child soldiers, we always like some child soldiers, but we might be able to pick them up later, but we don't really need manpower. Captured equipment. That's actually quite good. I don't know if that's off the mod or that's a Japanese thing on the new focus tree, but that is very handy. We'll take some free war bonds. We will promote you to Lieutenant General as well, because we probably don't have enough generals. Everything else, I think we're okay for. We'll try and get a few of these gas, some old weapons, and some fuel later on. We don't really need any resources, and that is about it for the decisions. Let's have a quick look at the national spirit. So militarism, not that important. Few consumer goods. We have about the agents, surrender limit, low casualties, consumer goods down. Strike South gives us 25 amphibious invasion speed till June 30th, which could come in quite a bit of handy to help us finish off the Pacific and the Aussies. World War is the thing that given us 70% political power gain. Imperial influence, so we're at influential for the army and the navy, which is good. And we've got subdued civilians and dominating military, which is okay. We have got a few extra ones. First strike principle for another 90 days against British Malaya, although Malaya is already dealt with. We get some defensive battles against Chile, okay. Manpower requirement, that's not brilliant. Surface ship project speed, that's good. A load of bonuses here. Factory output plus 11, dockyard output plus 8. Early industrial efforts, army and navy services, imperial navy, which isn't looking too good, but we can change that. And the imperial army, again, we can change. We are on a national defense state as well, which is basically total MOB. I don't quite know what the difference is without it in front of me. I'm not too clued up on the differences. We're on national defense state. We are on service by requirement, and we do have a lot of manpower, and we're on closed economy. We do have all our advisors. I mean, political power plus 15%, that is absolutely useless. Let's go and find something better. And now we have a lot of advisors, so recruitable pop. Bit of stability could come in handy because we are lacking the stability and we don't want any strikes. Attack on core territory and war support. A bit more stability there. Trucks, political power. Nothing. Oh, maybe we'll go for Mitsubishi President, factory output, dockyard output, and then the build speeds. I think that's probably going to be the best one because I imagine we haven't got too many factories. We do have infantry. We'll change you to the army offensive. We've got naval aviation. I think that's probably best because I think we've still got a few carriers going. Ground support is fine. We've got capital ship military advisor. That's fine. Infantry is good. We'll go and get... We could get carriers. That could come in handy. But I think army logistics until we at least finish China off is probably helpful. Tojo is our Prime Minister, and we have a lovely new focus tree, which is very, very filled in, I'll be honest. I didn't think we'd have this many. So nothing touched on the Soviet route, quite a bit on the Pacific. We can go in sort of attack Australia with these bonuses. So quite a lot of that's done. We've done a little bit of the Chinese puppet side. We've done a lot of the political path. So I think, yeah, Tojo is locked in as our premiership. We are actually one away from the Eternal Empire, where we become the Great Empire of, or the Empire of Great Japan, sorry. So we'll probably go after that. We've done a few other ones here. I think this is more than you could possibly do by January 1944 on the standard focus tree, I'll be honest. This seems far too many, but okay. We do need to get into the economic miracle if we can. We need a bit more resource yet. And we've done quite a bit of the military path as well. All 3 trees are fairly complete, or at least started, which is good news. I'm going to go for the Naval Armaments program first, because we get our 2 free carriers and our 2 free super battleships, or at least like 80-90% built. Research-wise, we've probably got quite a bit of the tree. Yes, quite a bit of the tree is filled in as well and researched. I imagine, again, this is far more than you can actually do in every single one of these trees, because we've got stuff for tanks, we've got half the artillery parts, nearly all of the navy. Obviously we're lacking in 43 stuff, but that's a lot of ships, a lot of these. This is far more than you could possibly research. So I mean, I can't really complain. Like, all the air, it's basically done everything up to this date, which is, I mean, handy, very handy. So a bit of radar, and then we'll start obviously with production, because that's not quite up to date, and they've added a couple of new ones at the bottom here. So we'll do streamlined, and we'll do the rest of concentrated, and we might as well go for, there's some bonuses, so we'll get construction 6 now as well, and then we'll go and get a newer radar, I think, because radar is going to come in quite handy. So we've got 88 mils, we've only got 20 dockyards. That needs to be improved. So we are going to concentrate on a bit of dockyard output. It's almost like I do mainly Navy videos, so I know exactly what I'm doing with Navy. So we'll do a load of dockyards, and then we'll do some mills to follow. I'm going to just make, we'll make light tanks still, we'll make trucks. We need to give these all an MIO as well, I suppose, and then we'll have to tick our way through the bonus, because they normally start with about half full on the MIOs. We will finish off these because they're almost just done, these destroyers, and they're only 1. So we'll get rid of all of these quickly once we get built. We have got a load of carriers in production. So we've got 4 carriers that basically all the way complete. Well, 90-80% complete. So we would definitely be finishing all 4 of these off. I'm going to just merge all of my navy into one, except the fleet with the subs, because there's no need for that. So we'll merge all this and see what we are working with. By the looks of it, is quite a big fleet. So, yeah, 3 carriers and 5 battleships minimum. We've got 4 research facilities. So we've got 2 navy, 1 land, and 1 air. We'll go and start with some fleet submarines so we can get a sub-fleet, fun enough, on the go. We'll go and get them tiles as well, so they're near on invisible. And then we will start convoy raiding the whole of the world. I'm not sure if we need anything land. I mean, I'll go and get the military engineering vehicles, I think, for like some engineers. And then for air, we already have jets. So I think, unless there's nothing that interesting, I'll go for Axel jets so we can get some super duper fighters on the go eventually. And now it is just reorganizing our entire army. Right, so what have we got? 24, I don't really like that. 18 width, that's better. This is going to be our main division, so we'll cancel that one. For this one, we will leave them. We'll go and add an artillery, and I think that's it, because I don't think I've got any anti-air, so I can add that in later. But this is going to be our mainstay for our army, is this basic 18 width. That's absolute crap, so we'll get rid of that. For the cavalry, we'll just go and put... We do have police bikes, but I haven't got the construction for them, so we'll just put normal military police in. The tank division is terrible, so we'll just up this, I think, to a simple 20 width. So we'll go for motorized infantry. The AUG's actually really good, so we could probably get away with just putting another tank in. So it's pretty even. We'll go and add the motorized recon company, artillery and engineers. Perfect, that's going to be our tank division. And then that can be our basic garrison for ports. I'm going to make our Marines super duper, because these are going to do the majority of our fighting across the Pacific, and especially in the jungle tile. So I'll just do 2 of them for now, 22, and I'll up it to 25 when I get a bit more XP. They've done the shore parties. I want jungle specialists for the Pacific, so we'll switch that over, and then we'll just quickly... I mean, we've got all the XP for it, and we have the doctrines already on the go, so we can waste our XP just filling out the Marines. Yeah, so we're on base strike, and they're all done, and they are all like 40, 30% done, so that's good. Same with the infantry. We'll just leave these. We'll leave these as is. I assume these are quite historically accurate of what they did. We actually have 3 naval headquarters, so we'll keep the main guys off of these, and we'll just give them some of the random lower ones just to get bonuses across, hopefully majority of the Pacific by the looks of the locations. Right, so we've got 1 full army here for the Chinese border. It's going to push down. We've got 1 here guarding the southern border. We've got 1 on the Burma. We've got 1 here that's going to join. These are the small little pockets of ports. We've got all Marines down here in Papua New Guinea now. And then we've got a 72 of our port garrisons, which we'll use to defend our islands and the ports, obviously. We actually have 4,000 fighters, so I'm going to change them into CAS and a few naval bombers because we don't need that many. Right, let's just delete all of these planes. We've left the ones on the carriers, which is fine. We won't obviously touch them. So we have got a lot of equipment now that I've converted a lot of units. So, I mean, we're missing artillery and support equipment, but everything else is absolutely in the stockpiles galore. What I'm going to make is some long-range CAS, but I'm also going to put just some guns on it, just to make sure it can defend itself. That way, if it gets engaged by, I assume, some allied fighters that have been loaned to China. Right, we'll get these. So we've got 3,700, so we'll start converting them. Only requires a bit of ally now, and obviously it makes it a lot quicker. I'm going to let China just attack me a little bit while our troops get in place and we start getting some CAS out. We will try and finish off Papua New Guinea here, and then we can get our Marines elsewhere. See if we can push over to the USA as soon as possible to help the Germans out. So they're attacking these ports, but our troops are just too good. I mean, they've clearly left a province open there. So if I can at least get out, I won't be encircled and get the negative. Perfect. Okay. If I can get 1 more tile, we've actually reverse circled. Uno reversed them. Right, we'll crush them there. We can then link up with Hong Kong. Everything is very red in the sea. This we need to change. So we will get our subs. We'll give them... We do have 1 Seawolf, I believe, down here, who's not very good. The blockade runner is the one I also want, which is only the top one. So, okay, we'll just go with the Seawolf. That's fine. We've at least got that. Let's get them on convoy raiding. We'll get them on reinforcing and allow them to repair, and we'll go to engage at medium risk, and we will start seeing if we can pick up some of their convoys deep around here around the US islands and at least starve them out of the Pacific a bit. With our main fleet, let's go, and we've got 105 destroyers. I'm trying to think of the best way of doing this. I think I'm going to bring out a load of our destroyers because we just don't need that many. So we'll go for 40 because then it'll give us 8 lots of 5. We'll get 8 light cruisers out. We'll get 8 heavy cruisers out as well because we don't need them to guard the carriers. And what we'll do with these 3 lots, we'll merge these and then we will split them into 8 little task force. So they've each got a heavy, a light and 5 destroyers. We'll get these on patrol. That will increase our naval dominance. And we will put these on medium repair and... we'll leave them on medium engagement. So we'll get them on patrol. This will increase our naval dominance as well as find the enemy fleets for our main fleet to increase. So we'll start just around our home islands here and pick up further into the Pacific later. Our main fleet I'm going to make never repair, always engage, and then just on strike force. So as soon as our patrols pick something out, we'll engage. We'll move them over down here right into the middle of the Pacific, so it's got the shortest distance to go to engage the enemy fleets. Our new carriers and super heavy battleships are almost ready, so we've got these in production, yeah, 80%, so we'll make sure they are straight up the queue for highest priority. What do we want focus tree-wise now? So I could go for a bit of China. We might as well, yeah, let's go for the naval range, and also the attack against Australia bonus. China's attacking us, but we're holding, that's fine, they can waste their equipment. We are pushing back the US naval dominance. We are engaging a few little cruisers and... a battleship already, so that's a very good start with a load of 22, 24 destroyers there. So we do need to get naval dominance as quickly as possible. More cruisers here, which is fine. Our cruiser task force are better than just a few cruisers themselves that the Allies put out. So we should slowly defeat their patrol fleets, and then that will leave their main fleets open. So we've already started retreating out of that, so that's not the end of the world. Slightly larger there, but they have got no chance of getting away. We're going to absolutely doddle them down. Couple of cruisers gone for the US. So this isn't going too well for them. We are making serious headway. I suppose out of curiosity, what does 15 battleships and 8 carriers. Okay, that's quite a lot. And what about another couple of convoys gone there? What about the US? They've got 14 battleships and 9 carriers. Okay, we have got a lot of ships to be able to sink first. All the red has slightly gone. They've got a little bit of naval dominance there, but we still have majority. So we're looking a lot better. China is still attacking us, so feel free to waste your equipment. I don't really know what sort of... They've got a lot of divisions. I can't see their equipment at the moment, but they'll soon run out if they just keep cycle charging here, which is absolutely fine. We'll sit and take this for now. Let's get some more CAS out. The basic ones we had were not great range, just to help out in Papua New Guinea, because it is a little bit of a slog here, so I could do with a little bit of help because CAS is king. We have gone past April, we're actually in May, so I'm going to go and get our decision to get a few extra bonuses. I think there's another one. No, we can't do the one down here yet until we own a bit more China. So let's get our battle plan on the go. This should easily roll the Chinese over now. We have got CAS. They are defending their air there. Elsewhere, we are still CAS damaging them, so they shouldn't be able to survive. We at least will be able to get their logistics. Yeah, we're absolutely rolling them back. So they're already quite far into the capitulation, even though we only sort of have the northern and all the ports. We haven't really gone too much into the heartland. Another little battle there we've won. So the US and British fleet seem to be nowhere to be found at the moment. Let's get our mountaineers, our new mountaineers. We'll give them a general the best attack. And we'll use these to punch through. Actually, we'll go through the centre of China and head for their capital, because I think once we get to there, it's probably game over for them. I'm going to design some cruisers because we're almost done. So we'll go light... Oh, no, we want light cruiser battery 2. Sorry, 3s you require steel, 2s you don't. So we'll take 2s, best anti-air. We'll go for fire control 3. We'll go for a radar because these will be our new patrol ships, so we need to be able to spot the fleets. We'll give it the best engine. We won't do any secondary battery or armour. We'll give it... we'll do escort. Light cruiser battery 2. Another battery 2. We'll go for probably aircraft facility, I suppose. We'll put a catapult on it. We'll give it a bit of depth charge. And we'll go for another cruiser battery. Not that one. We want number 2. So these have got a load of light attack and piercing to destroy the enemy screens that are going to be patrolling. And then we can also spot the larger fleets for our main fleet to come in and absolute decimate. D-Day is upon us. I mean, that's early because it's only the 2nd of June. So Germany is not going to look too brilliant. I hopefully will be able to save them with my quick actions, but we'll wait and see if that's the case. Right, nice pocket here. We'll just make a new battle plan. We'll get that on the go and seal these. That's a good 20 to 30 divisions there. If I go straight for the capital with my mountaineers, I think I should be able to puncture through. Minimum, I'll make a load of encirclements. We've got a load of CAS, but I think if we can take the capital, that'll be it. They'll just capitulate instantly. Oh, we've got a carrier, our first big hit. Oh no, we had a battleship on the first battle, actually, that's a lie. But our first carrier gone anyway, and a few destroyers. That's what I want, more of them so the allies can't really contemplate the sea against us. We will try and take out this small part of China. 99%, they are almost there. A couple more provinces, we'll just let the battle plan go. 3 million casualties. We'll just let it roll over. We literally need like 1 or 2 more tiles while holding the bits we have, and that should be China done. 10 destroyers, and there's China. I wasn't even looking. China is done. I think I'm just going to take all the land and then maybe form a puppet. We are looking chonkier. So I've only got a couple of borders with the Allies, which is good. So we can use the majority of our forces to invade the US. So we'll get some on the Burma border here and some on northern India. That was quite a big battle, and really annoyingly, it must have been that we were already retreating for some reason, and then they've re-engaged because we've lost all of our big ships out of that battle. Seems we have re-engaged perfect because we're obviously on always attack. They are instantly trying to get out, but that is definitely one, maybe... No, all 3 battleships. The 2 carriers got away, but the battleships and the screens are done and sunk. Yeah, Germany isn't looking too good, and we're only in September, so I don't think I'm going to be able to save them. Let's start pushing our way with some more naval invasions towards Hawaii so we can get to the Eternal Empire. And then obviously we'll jump to the US. And while they're distracted in Europe, we should be able to take them by surprise. I've merged all my fleets back together to see what we're working with. So we've got 8 carriers now. and we've got 7 battleships, obviously 2 super heavy battleships, enough screens. So we'll do the same. We will split off the same amount of patrols. I just wanted to reconfigure it because we took a few losses. That's all of them on patrol around here. What I'll do is, I think this is too big, so we're going to split this into 2. I'm not sure what the carrier amount you should have anymore, whether it is still 4. But we'll split it into 2, and we'll get them on strike force to pick up anything that our patrols spot. Naval dominance is pretty much instantly, so we'll get our naval invasions on the go. Hopefully there's some fleets tucked away in these islands that will pop out and we'll be able to sink. Königsberg's in ruins as well, so Germany's not looking too great. There's literally like a couple of divisions. We must have starved the US troops out of here, but there we go. We've moved a little bit further. Now we can jump straight to Hawaii and take that. December 44, and Germany looks like they're about to fall. We'll go and get a send attaché just to see what the battles are like. But it looks like they're about to go, and, you know, clearly the Allies are super duper buffed in this. It might be a good challenge to see as Japan if we can actually save Germany. Yeah, and there they go. Took Berlin. Wow. 13th of December 1944, and Germany has fallen. That is about to put a lot of pressure on myself. However, we are absolutely dominating in the Pacific, so I'm not too worried. I didn't realise we could raid Pearl Harbor, so it's not going to go off in time before... No, we've already taken it. I really wish I did that earlier, so we could have got the negative debuffs to the USA. But never mind, we have taken Hawaii, which means there's only one stop next. I can now go and do the Eternal Empire, where we get some political power, a load of buffs. We obviously become the Empire of Great Japan. We'll have to do the little trick of taking a few of the carriers out because they have bigger range and getting them onto the western seaboard because our main fleet does not reach that far. So we need to get naval supremacy. Hopefully it doesn't get engaged, otherwise it could end quite badly. Oh, it has been engaged. Oh, like 8 destroyers, fine. That could have been terrible because obviously we can't have any screens with it, so 7 destroyers, not the end of the world. We have got naval supremacy, so we were off. Let's go and get this back into its main fleet very quickly. We are actually being pushed back in here. The US are starting to reinforce now that Germany's fallen. So I'm going to do a fallback line here just to wind them down and make sure they at least bring some troops in before we get rolled over. Instead of having their divisions in India, they probably should have had them here. So let's get our main army over as quickly as possible. See if we can knock through the US before they can reinforce here. The Eternal Empire is done, which means we are now Empire of Great Japan. The US is still absolutely cycle charging us. Although they've mainly disappeared, it's the British. So we'll get a front line going because we may be able to start to push back. I assume the US are quickly flooding back to their homeland. Okay, I'm in a bit of a bother with convoys because we have none. So I need to quickly start making some because I haven't been doing that. I didn't think we were getting convoy raided too much. So we need to switch all of our naval production to convoys because currently we have no supply. Right, I'm going to use this small fleet of a carrier and some cruisers, and we're going to get them on convoy escort, see if we can at least start hampering some of the subs. They are, you know, look at these red lines, they are hampering us massively. I think I'm going to get our main fleet. We're pretty much done on the fighting, so let's just get them all on deleting the area. We'll get them all on convoy escorting and see if we can fix these red trade routes that are going on. Part of my 1945 strat is naval bombers everywhere, so I don't know why I haven't done it for this route. So we will go and get these improved naval bombers which have excellent range, and we will start torpedo bombing the whole of the Pacific to see if we can get the subs. Oh, I should have had these torpedo bombers all along. We are just absolutely smashing through subs now. I suppose a good thing to know would be how many subs the USA actually have to see why we're... Oh, 120. Yeah, that explains why our convoys are gone. Okay, we have got a lot of subs to find. I've had to delete my landing force because we had no supply, so we're letting them take back the US. Obviously, my army is a lot smaller, but I took all my manpower and I've restored all of my equipment. So it's not the end of the world. It's not like I got encircled, but we do need to fix our supply before we can re-invade at this stage. There's 2 carriers gone, which is also the pride of the fleet. Everywhere else we're looking okay. I mean, the convoy seems to have just started to trickle up again, so I think we're looking okay. We've got a lot of equipment apart from a bit of artillery and anti-air and support equipment. I think we are pretty much done with the subs. So our convoys are starting to come back now, so our supply and trade is better. Yeah, they're down to 35 subs and 21 with the UK. So there's a few more to find, but majority of them have been sunk. We are getting strat bombed to oblivion. I didn't realise that. So we'll go and make anti-air. Just entirely cover our home islands with anti-air. Let's go and unify the air forces so we get no longer the separate air services negative bonus. We have, a nice carrier there in a port strike, which is always nice. I think we can probably push back through India now. Yeah, they haven't got much supply and we've got a load of cash, so nice little encirclement there. Quickly, we'll just crush that. I think we'll just go full on attack now. We have got a lot of cash, so we should be able to roll them back pretty easily. Yeah, this is going so well. Oh, United Kingdom has declared on Germany. Are they in the Soviet Union? They are the Allies. Let me just double check, but I can't see. Yes, the Allies are at war with the Soviet in July 46. They've definitely changed that because this didn't used to happen until about 1950. So, okay, it's going to be a lot easier for us now with the Soviets on our side. Let's start rebuilding our army ready for reinvasion of the US because I imagine they're about to flood all of their divisions to Europe to deal with the Soviets. I've got a lot of artillery, so we're going to go for some absolute wild 30 width with a load of artillery bad boys. Clearly, all of the troops have fled out of India because we're just left with sort of the allied smaller nations and puppets left. Nothing British and US here. There's a few more. Another carrier gone. There's another battleship. Yeah, the US, for some reason, is just throwing its fleet at us now. I mean, we have got 8 of these lovely task force on patrol just smashing its way through. So we'll expand a bit more towards the US now. There is literally 1 unit in Los Angeles. Okay, I think full-scale invasion is on the go. Let's, instead of that, we'll do a whole field martial order. Let's quickly get in before the US can get their troops back from Europe fighting the Soviets. Right, we're fine there. We're sat. We are looking nice and healthy now. There is a major war going on in Europe, which we're not part of at the moment. Meanwhile, we are just pushing back the US and Mexicans in North America here, where there's not really many of them. Our main army is turning up now, which is good because the Marines were getting a little bit stretched too thin. If we can at least cut off Mexico, because they seem to be flooding troops in here and it's quite a difficult region to attack. So there we go. Mexico is now cut off, which means we can separate our divisions and basically crush Mexico and then the US. Okay, so it's only France, United States and the UK, which is good. We are just about to finish Mexico off, but they have got quite a few divisions here. But I think Mexico City and maybe 1 or 2 more, and that should be them done. A few more encirclements here. The US is slowly reinforcing, but I mean, it's a little bit too late for them, I feel. Oh, Soviets, why would you do that to me? Oh, I was so close and you've absolutely ruined it. I don't know how we're going to fix this. Okay, I think we're pretty much good in the US, so I'm going to take one of our armies and we'll get them quickly back to China because I don't want to leave all of China. I think the US is basically on its knees now, so we only need 1 lot. If we can just get to Washington, modern carrier, is that enough? No, yes, it is. There we go. US is done. Okay. Right, we need to quickly mop up these pockets, but the US is done. Right, so we've got a few divisions there stopped. Luckily, none of the puppets are fighting each other yet, which means we've only got a few small borders, like here, with the Soviet Union. So we'll quickly mop that up. I need manpower, so what is going to give me... This is going to give me 30,000 manpower. I mean, that's not really what I want, but it's, I suppose, a little bit better than none. I'd rather have a percentage, so we'll have a look at them in a minute. We have got all these divisions, so it's not really a lack of manpower. It's because I'm trying to deploy so many divisions at the moment. I think the Soviets are a bit overstretched, because here in the Raj, they've got absolutely no supply and no equipment. So we will definitely fight back here, especially with our Cass. Cass is king. So that is USA pretty much done. I'm going to move my fleet now over to the Atlantic to try and see if we can take out the Brits. All the puppets have been called in now, so I've got a major front line going, so we should be able to push back. I mean, the Soviets were pretty occupied with the European front, so we should easily at least be able to consolidate our front line and, you know, squeeze them out a little bit of Siberia, in which case they won't be able to push. Right, I think we're going to have to go to Iceland first, because I don't want to do the carrier trick in the Atlantic, because we'll basically end up getting sunk. I don't know why I can't reach over here, because it's got automatic... It's on Labrador. I don't want it to be on Labrador. I want it to be on Iceland, so I don't manually want to do it either. If I just reset, I suppose, The automatic. There we go. We've changed to Iceland. Perfect. Right. Our fleet is now over, which means we can start fighting in and around the UK. If we can just take Liverpool. There is someone in Liverpool, but that doesn't matter because it's only one unit. Clearly, the UK is not home. They are also in Europe. I think if I just do literally every single point quickly, because there's no troops here, I'll be able to cap the UK in literally a matter of days, because if we can just take all of these victory points with no one in them, we'll just do it easily. Maybe Dover will just be enough. Yes, it is. Perfect. And that is peace steel. I thought about continuing, but nobody wants to see a slog war against the Soviets, so I'm classing that as defeating the Allies as a win. So we have saved Germany in 1944 with the latest DLC and focus tree. Let me know what you mean to do down in the comments below. Other 1944 nations trying to save Germany as Japan, or maybe 1945 endsieg as Japan. Subscribe to stay up to date with more Hearts of Iron 4 content. Thank you guys for watching, and peace out.